Wait. Since we're on the topic, tell them what happened with the Uber driver that day.
Oh my gosh. Okay, so this is the first time. Usually my mom, like, she always picks us up from the bar. Like, she doesn't care. Like, she does not care what time it is. Like, she's a great mom. Like, she always picks us up. But this time, I don't know why. Like, we stayed out pretty late. And then I was like, no, Mom, it's okay. Like, you don't have to, like, come pick us up. We'll order an Uber. She was like, are you sure? And I was like, yeah. So we ordered the Uber. We get in the Uber, and it's fine. Like, it was actually fine up until we got on the highway. And once we got on the highway, I'm in the front seat, and then in the back, it's my two friends, like, Let's Go, Marissa, and then Tim and Silvana. All of a sudden, I'm in the front seat, and I see him drifting. Like, actually going from lane to lane, to the point where he almost hit the tree, like, on the right-hand side. So I text my friend, Let's Go. I was like, yo, am I the only one seeing this? Or, like, is he, like, swerving and drifting? He goes, no, like, it's really bad. And then as he said it's really bad, he almost hits into the median. So I go, oh, my God, like, this Uber driver is, like, drunk. So I said, I was like, all right, I'm going to call the cops. I called as we were on the highway. And the call doesn't go through. Go figure. I'm like, all right. And I see we're almost into Freeport. So I had a lot of close friends that are Freeport police. So I texted one of them and I was like, hey, listen, like, I'm in the car with a drunk driver. Like, can you please, if you're working, like, please come get him. And he goes, listen, like, I'm dealing with another situation, but, like, I'll put a PBA, like, on the car. Like, what is it? And I told him. He was like, all right. So he does it. But something else was going on in Freeport that night that they needed to be there. So I was like, the guy was just going through. And I was like, okay. I call again. I call the cops. And then the lady was like, can you get out of the car? And I'm like, oh, he's not even moving right now. He's, like, literally at a green light. I tried, like, opening the vehicle, but he had it on childproof, so it just wasn't going. Yeah, I could not get out of the car. At this point, I'm just like, we're literally going to die in this car. Like, I actually thought we were, because there's, like, when you go into Freeport and when you go into my house on Atlantic Avenue, there's, like, a small little bridge. He, like, actually almost went off that bridge. Yeah. Like, very close to going off that bridge. So then my friend texts me, goes, yo, like, are you still in Freeport? I was like, no, like, I'm already in Nassau. He goes, did you call the cops? I'm like, I did, and they have a PBA, like, on the card. And he was like, all right, good. And then the lady says, like, are you out of the car? I was like, we literally told him to stop on the corner, and we walked home. And I was like, we're walking.
Yeah, it was all the way down.
Yeah, I was like, we're walking. And then my friend, like, he tried holding him up so the cops can come, but he just fed off. He just left. That's why I will never shoot over again. When I tell you this was, like, a close, like, I really thought this was going to be it for us, especially, like, I really thought, like, we were going to die that night.
Yeah, it was bad.
I was in the front seat, like, tearing up. Like, once I saw, like, we were on, like, the car, like, sorry, John, like, I'm here, here's the bridge. If I tell you, if he did not turn when he did, we would have went off the bridge.
Wow. That's incredible.
We literally would have went, if he didn't turn, like, that split second, we would have went off.
That's terrifying.
Yeah.
Yeah, it was bad.
Yeah. I was already, like, tearing up. I was like, I'm really going to die.
Were you guys saying stuff to each other? Like,
I was texting my friend Let's Go, and he was saying, he was like, yeah, like, this is really bad.
Mind you, they're all in the car together. They're texting.
Yeah, we're all in the car together. So he was adjusting his seat so the cops can come and get this guy. But he just kind of drove off. Like, he didn't care. Wow. So we left the complaint for Uber, and
our ride was free.
Our ride was free. We got refunded for that.
Good. I mean, I hope it would be free.
But when I tell you, like, you just never know anymore. Even, like, with Uber, like, they're supposed to be, like...
Yeah, it's like, you don't drink and drive, but
do your thing, guys.
Yeah, like, you call an Uber so you don't drink and drive, yet our Uber driver was driving drunk.
The irony there is insane.
It's supposed to.
It's crazy.
Well, you need to put your leg out.
Did you give him, like, a 1-star rating?
Like, all the way out.
And this is why I always drive myself home, because that night...
Trunk's better than that.
I mean, maybe not.
But never drink and drive.
You never drink and drive. We don't support drinking and driving on the podcast or in our personal lives.
No booze and cruise.
We're going to redact everything John just said.
No, but
I drove myself home that night, and I had only had 2 drinks over the course of numerous hours of dancing.
Yeah, we were there for a while.
So we were good.
Yeah.
And, like, they were worried. They were like, you sure you're good to drive? I pull up to their house, and they're like, you won't believe what just happened. We almost died. Our Uber driver was drunk. I'm like...
it was bad.
Okay.
And that was the one time I call an Uber, because, you know, like, my mom, she always picks us up.
Always picks us
always.
up.
The one, with my grandma. And the one time I call an Uber to pick us up.
She even said though, she was like, a voice was telling me in the back of my head.
Yeah, my mom was saying, she was like, I kind of had like a bad feeling about it, but she was like, you know what, I'm just gonna let her like order it. Like I always pick them up, like I'll just let her order it, whatever. She was like, they're probably just having a really great time. But she was like, deep down, I felt like something was like wrong already. Yeah. I'm like, it was so fucking wrong.
Yeah.
That's terrifying, truly.
Yeah, it was, we were really, I know, I was scared. I just.
You seem pretty unfazed. You're like, wow, that was so
I was in
bad.
another room. So.
So will you ever order an Uber again?
No, never. Yeah, no, I wouldn't do it.
So does
just because, like, you just...
They're just on
shut it
Lyft
down.
now.
Yeah.
They switched
No,
apps.
but also, too, like, you just don't know with Uber. You don't know, like, who you're getting. Yes, they're supposed to do, like, this extensive investigation with them, like a background check, but still, you never know, like...
Right.
So let's say, like, so my mom was saying that she has this one friend that she was an Uber driver with, and it wasn't the actual person. So, like, what people do when they don't have working papers, so let's say I'm illegal, right, and I don't have working papers, but you're legal and you have working papers.
Okay.
I feel like
I'll use your account and drive for you, and I take the money.
Gotcha.
So your mom got catfished on
No,
Uber.
not my mom, her friend.
Her friend got catfished on Uber. Interesting.
Never heard that
That's
before.
crazy.
Neither have
You
I.
just never know anymore. He had it. I couldn't even get out of the vehicle. I couldn't get out of the car.
That's sketchy. That's very sketchy.
I tried so hard. Like when he was at one point he was at a green light and not moving. He was just like this the whole time. I was like,
Damn, on another
I was like, get me out of this car, and I could not get out.
Wow, that's scary.
That's
Yeah,
wild.
I was like, I could not get out of this car.
So
Imagine it was just you in the car.
Oh my god, I
Like, good thing it was a whole group of us.
Yeah.
No, thank God we also had guys
Yeah,
there. Like
you could all die
we
together.
Had Lesco, we
That's
had
great.
all of them in there. Like thank God.
Seriously.
We could have a joint funeral for 6 people.
Yeah.
Maybe they'll give you a discount.
Oh my gosh.
Probably, yeah, family
So
discount.
does your mom stay up every time you go out all night?
Weren't you supposed to be home like alone that weekend? Didn't you say?
Yeah. So my mom. So my dad. Yeah, my dad ended up. That day I didn't see my dad that whole weekend. No. Yeah, he was away. He was working.
Sounds like every weekend for me. We went to get milk one day.
Damn,
Just kidding. Just kidding. I love my dad. He helped me build this house.
It's actually the opposite.
I love how he just went silent.
It's the complete opposite. He
always comes back.
he always comes back never with milk.
He won't take the milk out of your house.
No, so I didn't see my dad that week. I didn't see him until like Sunday night. Yeah. Sunday
No
night.
shade.
No, it's not shit. Of course not.
Funny joke.
He just came home. He was like, hey,
What?
Yeah, I didn't see him until Sunday night. And then my mom, she went to a concert, so she wasn't home the
me see
majority
this
of the
out of
day.
your
Like she came home like late.
No more blood?
It's right there, a little bit.
Hey guys, just for the sake of the podcast, let's keep the side conversations down to a minimum.
Shut up.
Sorry, I'm not trying to be. No, you guys are fine. Just like, I would love to hear everybody's stories, so I can't keep track of both things that's going on.
Whatever.
Wow.
But that is terrifying.
That's crazy.
Yeah. So
I
we
hope
almost
that,
died.
I hope that never happens
No,
to anyone.
I've had a near-death experience, but I think this was like
that was number one.
that was
by
number
far.
one.
So, speaking of near-death experiences, I have a story I didn't tell any of you guys yet.
Oh,
Okay.
story
In North
time.
Carolina, so I'm
Oh, I can't wait to hear it.
So,
I mean,
I became friends with
I
a
know.
friend from work.
I know.
Yes, you know the story. So, he's a fellow
I'm
analyst
his bro.
like I am. And he is 100% Mexican. He's a really cool guy. So, he's like, yo, John, we gotta go to this Mexican restaurant. They're right from over the border. No, I do not. But, anyway. So he's like, we gotta go to this restaurant. It's like a hole-in-the-wall place. They're really authentic. They only speak Spanish there, so I have to order for you. It's really cool. So him, his boy, who I'm friends with, who's in the military, and me went. Eh. So we go, we sit down. Marines. Anyway, so we sit down at the table. We get like our tacos or whatever. I get my gluten-free whatever bullshit. And there's a fight breaks out in the back of the restaurant between two drunk guys over who's controlling the music in
They were
the
done
restaurant. No, worse. One guy had a gun in his belt. He was drunk and it was loaded. So, yes, because they fought, the two of them bolted out of the restaurant right by us. And the guy, as he was leaving the restaurant, takes out the gun and fires 5 shots in the parking lot. Yo.
Yo, you're getting PTSD.
And the entire restaurant does not pay attention to it. Only the 3 of us are losing our minds. Like this guy, who was drunk or whipped out a gun in front of us and fired shots in the parking lot. Right where my car is, which is like the worst
Is
thing.
your car okay?
Yeah, my car.
I think
Yeah.
I think you should
Yeah, so my friend calls the cops. 7 cop cars come. They arrest one of the guys who was in the FBI, open up! Okay. And the guy who fired the shots actually got in his truck and drove away. He did not catch him. They did not.
So they
Oh,
got the
God.
other guy.
They got the other guy that was fighting, and we watched from the window of the restaurant.
You were still in the restaurant?
Yes.
He was having dinner at his show.
We watched. They were fist fighting in the parking lot before the shots were fired.
Oh my god.
So they were swinging drunkenly at each other. And then they went behind a corner and we heard 5 shots. So we thought someone got killed.
Damn.
But he
Oh,
survived.
man. Oh, no.
He
Oh.
must have been really drunk because his aim must have been not good because they were right in front of each other.
Oh.
So
I
yeah,
think you win.
yeah.
Yeah,
So
that-
that
that's
was
crazy.
we did an interview for the police too. So
No
that was.
way.
Oh,
and then-
dude! Ask them to send us some footage for
And
the
then-
podcast.
They were like middle aged, I guess. White.
Okay, but that's not my question. Were they cute?
I wasn't. I was trying. I'm glad I was alive, man. I wasn't judging that.
Were the cops
Well, what we
cute?
did
They were
afterwards
middle-aged
was-
and white.
We went to see the Batman movie, so that was fun.
Okay.
It was a good movie.
Eh.
But on the way home, I also got pulled over.
Stop.
For speeding.
There's-
So-
I
Shut
got
up.
pulled over the other day.
Yeah, that's not surprising.
I got pulled over the other day.
Yeah, I got pulled over, but he didn't give me a ticket because I'm nice like that.
Oh,
I didn't get a
for
ticket
real?
either. I have the video too.
Yeah, it's
All right,
actually really
I don't
funny.
have video.
It's
proof.
funny.
But that's my
Is it
near-death
really?
experience in the past 3 or 4 months.
Oh, I want to see that. That sounds
It's
funny.
really funny.
Does anyone else have any near-death experiences here?
I got into a car accident and it was a near-death experience.
Yeah, I don't have. You got that one on me.
Oh, I have a couple like crazy. I was in Daytona Beach early
For spring
last year. No, just to visit a friend who lives down
No,
there.
that was 9 years ago.
We were going surfing and stuff, and we were in the middle of the night. We're walking through the beach, and this crazy homeless person comes out, and there's this bridge.
And someone else said, "Yo, look at that guy's foot."
Yo,
so,
lick it.
so there's this bridge, and you walk under the bridge to go onto the beach, and I'm taking a picture in front of it because I'm like a tourist. You know, I've never been to Daytona Beach, and my friend was taking the picture. All of a sudden, like a creepy troll that like lives under a bridge, this homeless guy comes out of like this weird, like crevice like under the bridge, and just starts like mumbling like curses at me, but like not just like F words and stuff. It was that, but also like, you're gonna die. I like cast a hex on you and all this
Like
crazy
unique
stuff. Crazy
Creative.
stuff. And he's like on the other side of this railing because there was, I don't know. You'd have to imagine it. It's like a walkway and then there's a road.
Okay.
And I'm walking in the road because it's the middle of the night. There's nobody on the street. Long story short, he starts walking and we're like, all right, we got to get away from this. We got to get away from this homeless guy. He's like mentally ill. And he starts following us. So at this point, my friend is like, she's walking really fast away, and I'm walking at a normal pace because I know like there's no reason to engage this person. Like if we start running, he might start running, but he is following us, and he like starts like jogging towards us, and I'm like, this is gonna turn into a fight. This is gonna. I swear to God, I had my fist clenched, and my friend had already started like kind of picking up speed, and she was about to go ask this other homeless mentally ill guy who was picking up coins on the side of the road for help to fight this person. The other guy was like this like black guy. He was leaned over like picking up coins, and she was like, I'm about to go ask this guy for help. And I'm just sitting there like the guy's like not charging, but he's like coming at me, and I'm like, dude, I don't want any trouble, and I'm just continuing to walk away slowly, and he like geared up to fight and then like stopped short, and then he was like, fuck you, and I hope you die, and I'm like, okay, yeah, cool, and I just keep walking away.
So here's the question: was it a friend or friend?
Oh, Becky? No, she's just a friend. No.
Becky with the good hair.
Yeah, the good hair, whatever her hair is, but she's just like a friend from church who moved down to.
Becky with the gray hair.
We don't talk about that.
All right, we're gonna put a picture of Becky up on the green screen just so everybody can see it.
Oh my God! I didn't realize.
Wow, yeah, look at
Wait,
that.
what's in the background? Like, what are you doing?
We have our logo, our
logo,
banner,
okay.
and then if we have anything interesting to put up there, I can throw it up at any time.
Like Becky.
Like
Becky.
our picture of Becky.
Becky.
Yeah, okay.
She has great hair. Lovely.